We got 3 more matches. We got Just Saiyan versus Nalguidan coming up next. The only non-warrior matchup that we have for today.
Yep.
Cyclone Mage versus Bogle Rogue. TJ, you said that this is one of your favorite matchups of the current meta. Why is that?
I think it's just because the craziest things can happen, and I'm kind of proven wrong by the fact that we just saw one of the craziest games that we've seen in a while. But that was mostly crazy things that StrifeGuard was doing, not crazy things that Muzzy was doing. So imagine that, but imagine a mage on the other side who can generate a ton of random spells, and that's a recipe for craziness.
Gotcha.
And it's Super Sunday, so I want some super craziness.
Well, I mean, it was pretty silly back and forth in the previous games there for StrifeGrow, but let's go ahead and check in with the decks here. First off, we're going to start. We're going to be things with Just Saiyan, as he does have the Conjurer's Calling Cyclone Mage. This is a pretty straightforward deck, but it has the Luna's Pocket Galaxy, but things don't get straightforward once you start playing the deck and having all these combos. I do wonder if the secondary deck with the Halftime Scavenger Rabble Bouncers are going to come into effect this series.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you're in a metagame like this one, you expect pretty much just the 3 decks that we've seen, which is Mage, Rogue, and Warrior. So why would you bring that secondary deck unless you had a good idea that people would bring that? So maybe we'll see it. I think it depends how slow his opponent's road deck actually is and how much pressure it can put on, whether or not Rabble Bouncer would be good. But only time will tell. I do like Saiyan's version of the deck with the Luna's Pocket Galaxy in primary. I think it's good. But Nalguidan is playing a little bit of a faster version, at least with his primary deck. He's got Fairy Dragons in that main deck, and Nightmare Amalgam, which gives him a lot more early board presence to fight against the mage. And on top of that, he gets to put in even more good tech cards into his secondary deck with Betrayal, Eviscerate, Walk the Plank, and Big Game Hunter. So that secondary deck is like the ultimate mage-killing rogue deck. Pretty insane.
Yeah, I like that he teched his main deck and his secondary deck, and he is rewarded for it in terms of the matchup against Mage. Saiyan probably less happy about that. Fairy Dragon gives Mage fits. In fact, every spell immune effect gives Mage fits, dating back to the very beginning of Hearthstone, where people played like Spectral Knight and Mage couldn't really answer it.
Yeah.
All right, so as we get ready for this game, Saiyan and Nalguidan both have already finished their standings, but I believe that they're actually fairly close in standings. Saiyan, I think, has 7 record, 6 and 7 record, excuse me, and Nalguidan's at 5 and 8. So this match could be for effectively tied at 5th. And you know what? For Nalguidan, who is at the bottom of the standings for a large portion of the season, that's a good consolation prize, right? The fact's like, okay, you know, he was 8th for a long time. And people were like saying like, yeah, you know, Nalguidan doing the worst. People didn't really have high expectations given that the caliber of players left in the division. But if he's able to, you know, jump over Zalay, ETC, and Saiyan, not bad. Not a bad way to salvage the last half of the season.
To put that in perspective, 6 and 8 was a possible score for playoff qualification in Division A. There was a chance for a 5-way tie at 6 and 8 for the final playoff spot. So it is 6 and 8 finishes the season at 6 and 8. That's nearly a playoff contention. That's nearly like top 3, which is weird. But that's just how Division A played out. So definitely not something to be disappointed at. And I think if you look at like the second half of the season 1 here, Nalguidan might even have close to a positive record because of how poor his start was. But let's get into it. We had a slight delay because, of course, Just Saiyan had to go get the backdrop from Muzzy's room that he shares with him.
Is that really what happened?
That's really what happened. That's what happens when they play back-to-back. You need some backdrop buffer time, Dan.
Yeah, just got to scoot it in there. Saiyan's going to start things off with the magic trick. Finds Pocket Galaxy in his opening hand, but Nalguidan has the aggressive opening with SI7 Agent and Waggle picks.
Luna's Pocket Galaxy, no matter how bad your start is, can do crazy things.
I agree.
It was a Europe Grandmasters match on Friday, I believe. I think it was Board Control versus... I don't remember, but Luna's Pocket Galaxy was playing on 5 at like 16 health, went down to like sub 10. Stargazer Luna drew through the whole deck, got Mount Giant Conjurer's Calling, won the game. So...
yeah. Sometimes that happens. and it is crushing. But you got to bounce back. That's kind of what it's all about. Saiyan picks up Arcane Intellect, but wants to deal with his 3/3 first. 50-50. Gets it.
Yeah, Nalguidan was hoping to have the ideal curve here with the Coin SI7 agent, Blink Fox, Waggle Pick, and just keep the damage chain rolling. Oh!
Okay.
Arcane Keysmith is very interesting.
Yeah, given that the secrets from Kobolds and Catacombs has rotated out, Arcane Keysmith only discovers mage spells. I believe the interaction would have still given it a secret if it was possible.
Yeah.
It is one of those weird things. Like, for example, if Paladin picked up this card, Arcane Keysmith somehow, it would discover Paladin's secret. Am I correct?
I think so. Based off standard game rules. Unless there was some weird exception, but I think Blizzard has been slowly like getting rid of weird exceptions. There used to be a ton.
Yeah.
Like wild pyromancer interactions with everything.
Right. Yeah, or like anything that's like when damaged. I know Bittertide Hydra and Acolyte of Pain had like some very weird interactions as well too. Double Shark here for Nalguidan. A little bit awkward, but could end up responding to the board just by setting up a Shark and trying to pick up something else afterwards.
Yeah.
Could discover 2 secrets while Arcane.
He could. That's really funny. I think Spellbender and Mirror Entity are the 2 highest value secrets. Mirror Entity, they don't have too many small minions, especially with the Mana Cyclone Blade. And Spellbender can sometimes eat up Conjurer's Calling, which is very, very good.
Man, this is a scary moment for Saiyan because that secret being Counterspell could ruin everything. The secret being Mirror Entity could also be very annoying. What's the best way to go about it?
I wonder.
Tome of Intellect to test for a Counterspell. Snip Snap just one time. Sees the Mirror Entity. The nice thing about the Mirror Entity Snip Snap is that its Death Rattle improves your Sea Giant plays, so I do like that.
Unfortunately for Saiyan, though, that was the turn that he wanted to go for Luna's Pocket Galaxy because there was the least amount of pressure on the board. But can't afford to have that counterspelled just because that'd be his whole turn gone, and this powerful effect that has a chance to allow him to come back into the game would be gone.
So many options.
Yeah, we've seen players who just rip it and they're like, yeah, if they have it, they have it. But it's often not that simple. It's some players, they think, I have to go for it because if I don't get this Luna's Pocket Galaxy down, I lose the game. So it's a very different risk versus reward that you might see some players choose versus others. In this case, Saiyan very much could still win, even though he doesn't get the Luna's Pocket Galaxy down. In other situations, you gotta go for it.
Yep.
Nalguidan, think about should he trade or go face. Interesting. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit surprised by this. I kind of like pushing damage as a rogue with Waggle Pick in the hand. You can push your opponent down to 23, and then your Waggle Pick has, 8 damage with some pretty good upside. Almost, I think all these cards you're like very okay with bouncing.
Yeah.
And now because of that, passivity for, or not the passivity, sorry, the conservative trade. I'm trying to use that word less here, TJ.
How dare you?
How dare me?
None of our players are passive, Dan. They're all aggressive in their own special way.
He's doing it!
Oh, he's doing it!
Shark
Yes,
Keysmith.
yes.
Double the secrets. Okay,
Ooh.
Counterspell or Mirror Entity.
I think
I'm a fan of Counterspell.
I like Mirror Entity better. Now I don't know Counterspell or Spellbender. No, there's a Ray of Frost in hand, so.
I'm a fan of Counterspell.
They both get eaten by Ray of Frost, so. And you know there's a second copy of Rare.
I think when everything costs 1 mana, it's really easy for your opponent to play around Mirror Entity.
But you know that there's a 1 mana Ray of Frost.
Right.
So it's really easy to play around the other 2 as well.
It's fair enough.
So probably starting off with Ray of Frost here.
If you picked Counterspell and then Spellbender, it would trigger in the order that the secrets were played. Off of Ray of Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Saiyan's like, okay, what are the secrets that Nalguidan likes to go for? He saw Mirror Entity, so I think he should assume Mirror Entity again. Start out with Ray of Frost, Counterspell. You could play the Mana Cyclone, and it would make the Sea Giant cheaper by 2. So it would go to 7 means 3 mana. It's not enough mana to go for Frost Nova, unfortunately. This was intentional before everyone drops the order LUL. Only gets 1 spell because of the counter spell, prevents it from being played. Nalguidan has even more damage now. He's got 8 this turn with the Waggle Pick SI7 agent.
10 if he wants to push face damage with the Mana Cyclone.
Yeah, I do think you want to try and like protect your shark, but 10 damage is hard to turn down, given your opponent's at 21.
You can also Cinderstorm. This is like the maximum face damage that you'll probably get for the course of the game with Cinderstorm.
It's true, but you also get to get double combo with SI7 agent. This is interesting. The fact that he went for Evil Cable Rat second. Like, if I guess he was like, oh, no matter what, I'm going to be playing Waggle Pick. But now he can evolve his minions. Spark Drill. Okay, so that's Rush and helps him trade into the 2/2. Now he can push damage.
Yeah. And it's not a given that Saiyan will deal with the Spirit of the Shark. But board space might be an issue on the following turn.
All right, Saiyan can make some miracles happen with the Banana Buffoon, Stargazer Luna.
Kind of has to. Doesn't really have a choice.
The future is ours.
He's dead on board in a lot of ways from his perspective.
Behold the tools of creation.
Hits a spell. Sea Giant currently is 2 mana, so doesn't have enough to go for Frost Nova Sea Giant.
If he had picked up a Mountain Giant, he could have Mountain Giant, Sea Giant, Frost Nova.
What to do? What to do? Time runs out on me.
Looks like Saiyan's gonna drop the Frost Nova just to try to stay alive. We have Cobalt Lackey dealing 4.
It's 12 damage from hand guaranteed.
Yeah, with the upside of potentially having more damage.
If he bounces Kobold Lackey back, then it's lethal.
So
Oh, no, it's not. He
many
wouldn't have board space.
options.
Hold on. Can he guarantee it with Cinderstorm?
No. He can't guarantee anything because he can't control the... I don't think he has much time left to try and play it slow. This is the second Frost Nova, though. So... Oh, no, wait. What Frost Nova was gifted? So there's still 1 natural Frost Nova in the deck.
Jeez. The Shark is just ridiculous.
So much value.
His board is full, though, so if Saiyan picks up another Frost Nova of some kind...
Ooh. guess that's... He could have changed the order of that, but...
Yeah,
whatever.
he could have.
If he didn't kill the mana cycle or the banana buffoon, maybe he'd want to use the spark instead of the witchy lacquey to clear it off. So,
dude, if he had that Frost Nova, Saiyan would be in the driver's seat. But right now, it looks pretty bad. 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 damage represented on the board. You could freeze 8 of it.
I wonder.
could freeze 8 of it and fireball something.
Unity.
You could freeze even more of it.
All right, basically all in here. Again, Sea Giant, just one mana too expensive.
Ooh, nailed the lackeys.
Yeah, that's good.
It does give Nalguidan more board space, though. That's the...
Right. All right, is this lethal? Look with Shark?
No. Zilix makes it too awkward, right?
Well, the damage, doesn't it do it separately?
6, 7, 8.
I wonder.
It's 12 damage.
Maybe the Ethereal Lackey first. Nah, it's fine. Shoots it, should be able to get past it. And then you do it again. This is overkill damage at this point. You're actually, it's the same. Is it the same?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
They both effectively deal the same thing.
This guy's toast.
And you don't want to attack into it with the spark, because then you just give him the damage that you would have given him if you saved the spark. Right.
Fair enough.
Because he'd heal for 4 if you attacked in, and then you'd be dealing 4 the extra damage. So, Eviscerate, that's damage.
Okay, last chance for Frost Nova. Doesn't get it. Saiyan only has Sea Giants, and he had enough to throw 2 more fireballs this turn, but that's not going to be enough here.
He could survive on board if you Archmage Tinnitus, Sea Giant, Sea Giant.
You require my
That's only 2 mana expended. You Ray of Frost 1/4/4 the 4/4, and you fireball the next one. You can actually fireball twice. If you don't want to play the second Sea Giant.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't want to.
Yeah. So there's 3 board damage.
Yeah. 4 damage plus the Eviscerate plus the Dagger is 9. Snip Snap is guaranteed lethal now because he can magnetize onto it.
Yep.
So he's just going to count his damage and make sure. But that should do it. Nalguidan takes game number 1 here over Saiyan's Mage. Saiyan's Sea Giant always just being a little bit off.
You win.
And unable to get anything going despite the combos that was going on. And Nalguidan takes the first game of the series. The Arcane Keysmith being very disruptive to Saiyan's plans.
Yeah, getting 3 secrets off of it. 1, then the Shadow Step, and then the Spear of the Shark value from it. Force the Luna's Pocket Galaxy 1 turn later. 4 suboptimal turns on 2 different turns, which when you're playing a mage deck, you're on a knife's edge. You have to make the most efficient play on a lot of turns against Rogue, or else you're going to fall way too far behind. And that's exactly what happened. Saiyan forced to make defensive plays for too long in that game.
All right, well, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have game number 2 between Saiyan and Nalguidan.
Welcome to this edition of Around the Fern with TJ and Just Saiyan.
Happy to be here.
Glad to hear it. So I've talked to this about you before. I've never heard you exclaim. So we have an hour in this room, and my goal is going to be to get you to exclaim.
That's just not going to happen.
It is going to happen. Imagine you're walking down the street. You just got lunch. It's a delicious burrito. You're hungry. You haven't eaten in 2 days. Then some guy walks up on the street, punches you in the face, and steals your burrito. You're out of money. You don't have cash. You didn't drive there. You walked there an hour. And now this guy comes up and punches you and steals your burrito. How do you react?
I don't even like burritos. I thank the guy and say, whatever. I was waiting for
What's your
Uber Eats
favorite
anyway.
food?
I mean, it has to be something with rice, but like, I kind of like risotto. The Italian style is very nice.
Italian style risotto. Now imagine you're walking down the street, you get your Italian risotto, and then a guy comes up to you, punches you in the face, and steals your risotto. What do you do?
Actually, I just...
Do you yell? Do you
I
scream?
get confused. I'm mad.
You're mad, so you
But-
want to yell.
But then I think this guy probably needs it more than me. I don't think it's physically
Let's say you're in a
possible for me.
giant field and you're strapped to a chair. The only person that can save you is 1,000 yards away. If you don't yell to them to communicate to them, you're going to sit in that chair forever because that's the only other person on earth. Do you yell to them to save your life?
I mean, if he's the only other person on Earth, do I like this guy? Are we friends even?
He's blind.
I just admit that this is the end. Last person on Earth. I don't know about, like, is his personality nice? Like, is he fun to hang out with? Or
Can we play a game?
yeah, we can play
I'm
games.
going to say a word, and you have to say it slightly louder. Risotto. 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 Risotto.
Risotto.
Shadows are rising again, darker than they've ever been. As evil descends from the skies, the world cries out, how will we survive? Out of the hall of explorers, and up from the dusty tombs, they grab their whips and fedoras. These legends of the past know exactly what to do. There might be magic monsters, mummies in the markets, and ancient mysticism. There's surely scorching deserts, and there's sure monster of narcissism. How states think annihilation, obliteration of civilization. Now is the time to be brave. Evil's come to enslave, but this league's gonna save the world.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hearthstone Grandmasters. Nalguidan versus Just Saiyan. Still going on. The Mage versus the Rogue. Currently, Nalguidan's up 1-2-0, looking pretty good, as I think that his secondary deck is going to add more difficulty for Saiyan to overcome this.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough matchup. They're both switching to their secondary decks, with Nalguidan removing Snip Snap, Life Trigger, Waggle Pick, and Ziliax, and including 2 Betrayals and Eviscerate, Walk the Plank, and Big Game Hunter. Saiyan, on the other hand, has removed Luna's Pocket Galaxy, Archmage, Tonight, and Sea Giant, has added 2 Halftime Scavengers and 2 Rabble Bouncers. And in theory, yes, those cards are good, but it felt like Sea Giants plus Frost Novas have been the way that mages have been winning this matchup a lot of the time. And one of the things about Nalguidan's Rogue deck is that it's got so many tech cards for removal that it could have a dead hand where it's not pressuring as much because it's holding on to all these betrayals and walk the planks and big game hunters. So maybe there's something there. I don't know, but Saiyan thinks that this is his best chance to win, and I can't tell if I agree yet. I'm not sure.
I think it's fine. I think Halftime Scavenger is a very underrated card. People look at it just as a 3/5 that gains 3 armor every now and then. But, you know, the first thing is that Halftime Scavenger is an overkill effect, which means that it can happen multiple times, so you have to remove it. The second thing is that it has stealth, which means it can pick its battles and specifically go in for the armor kill whenever it needs. And the third thing is that Mage is a fantastic deck to combo against it because it has freeze. So you can even have further options on how it wants to utilize things. Backstab draw.
Whoa!
Hexlord Malacrass. The backstab draw here is super nutty.
Job's done.
Stops the 3/2 in its tracks. But coin Scavenger, right? In this position, that's what it's here for.
Yep.
Stop the Fairy Dragon.
As long as it keeps out.
And then, you know, if Nalguidan doesn't have anything else, if Saiyan picks up like Ray of Frost or anything like that, maybe he'll double dip. Vendetta. It's a good draw for post Scavenger damage.
Nalguidan might just have too wide of a board for this
I hope you like my
this
invention.
Halftime Scavenger to get in too much value. He's not picking up the greatest of cards though. After this, his minions are exhausted. And this is kind of what I was talking about with those tech cards. He only has one of them, and it's already making his hand look kind of mediocre when faced with a smaller board rather than a board of giants.
Oh, yes. That is definitely what Saiyan's looking for here. The Mana Cyclone. I like it. And now Saiyan gets the trade. The post-trade scavenger damage, also known as PTSD. It's very fearsome, TJ.
I know.
You weren't sure where I was going with that, huh?
No.
Well, did not play around Betrayal, but not that he could.
Nope. And I think Betrayal's certainly lined up here. Or else you're doing nothing this turn. Betrayal plus Backstab.
Yeah, I mean, he did manage to place the least important minion in the middle, which could be seen as a slight positional error, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Seems like, oh my gosh, you have like everything.
Like every piece of removal, which is kind of true.
Dude, Nalguidan has the Spear of the Shark into double Battlecry Hexlord Malacrass. That is silly.
His opening hand was Novice Engineer, Betrayal, and Blink Fox. I don't know if you're not on the coin, if it counts. It doesn't count the card you draw on turn 1.
I don't
It's only
believe
3
it
cards
counts.
from
Yes.
when you're not on a coin. So it was Novice
What to
Engineer,
do,
Betrayal, and Blink
what
Fox.
to do.
Saiyan has the opportunity to either go Banana Buffoon or maybe try using Cinderstorm. Okay. That's probably the ideal outcome that wasn't killing both Blink Fox and the Fairy Dragon.
Yeah.
It's out on me.
Although I'm sure he would have wished to hit all minions because he could hero power down things. He's afraid to take damage. If you're Nalguidan, do you play the Fox? Do you play the Shark?
I think you value the board presence more so than loading up the Shark.
Arcanosaur, pretty weak card, all things considered.
Yeah, I don't even know. Oh, he does have a Nightmare Amalgam. He does have an Elemental deck.
The synergy,
Whoa!
out of this world.
Not that he would, it would even matter much, because I don't know if most of the time he'd be blowing up his own board. If you're in a position as a rogue where you have to Arcanosaur to live, you're probably dead.
Saiyan going for the Frost Nova, trying to stop the damage. The Shark can finally come out here.
He is going to get Shark plus Hexlord Malacrest. Ah, no, maybe he'll play the Arcanosaur just to have more board presence.
Okay. I mean, I think it's just another 3/3, so I kind of like Spear of the Shark. You're not setting up lethal either, right? Because Arcanosaur is 9 damage on the board, plus the 10th damage of the dagger, plus 4 from the Viscerate. I guess you could draw into lethal.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily about setting up lethal. It gets you closer to lethal for sure. I think that's more important than an extra couple cards.
He's about to get wiped by this Flame Strike.
Yep. But now he can reload with the Malacrest.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like he should have had a million vendettas.
Wow. And now he has Shark, Blink Fox afterwards. End up working out really nicely here. Saiyan can't believe it. He's like, what is going on in this game?
Probably time to go for these second mana cyclone here.
Yeah, I'd say.
3 spells.
It also challenges the 5/5. Gets Blast Wave, Research Project, and Vape. Oh, that's game.
Yep. Wait.
I'm
Yep,
pretty
that's
sure
16.
That's game.
So it turns out Hexlord Malacrest, the value didn't even matter. It was just the 5/5 bot.
8 mana 5/5.
Nalguidan takes the series 2-0.
It's like, all right, well, it was a tough matchup on paper already, but it was a very quick and clean game number 2 here from Nalguidan. I was kind of hoping for the Shark pop-off, the Malacrest pop-off, but it turns out Leroy Jenkins is all you need.
Yeah. And Nalguidan, a 6-8 finish to the season.
Tai Saiyan.
Which, yeah, may not seem like an insane record, but for a player that started off so poorly in Season 1 of Grandmasters.
That's right.
A great turnaround for Nalguidan. Moving up in the standings, getting out of that last place. 6-8, while it's not at that 500, that even 50-50 split on the season, still a respectable record against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go ahead and check in with Nalguidan again. Nalguidan, are you there?
Yes, hello.
All right, so, getting a win over Saiyan, I believe you tie for 5th place in the division, which is pretty good way to salvage the season if you're not going to make playoffs, because I know you're at the bottom at one point. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely happy with kind of a comeback. I started, I think, 1-5 at some point, and so after that was decent, I guess.
Yeah, no, I
managed to get my first 2 wins week today. So
was this the first week that you won 2?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably have to go back and fact check that. Well, there you go. I mean, since you played. They were
Wait, no. I don't believe him. I need proof.
All right. So Nalguidan, I guess we talked to you a little bit yesterday, so not too many more questions to ask here, but I do know that you were looking for a way to really salvage the season here. This rogue deck in particular, having the fairy dragons and whatnot, it was purely because you thought that you were going to go up against mages this week with the Nightmare Amalgam package and that as well?
I built this lineup for week 5, which I was facing, I think, ETC, and I don't remember who else. And I was like, I think it was Dog and ETC. I was putting them on mage. So I built this lineup especially for that week, but then after playing it more, I kind of liked it for warriors and rogues as well. So I just ended up submitting now.
Gotcha. Cool. When you look back upon your season, Nalguidan, what's the number one thing that you want to focus on going for season 2 as a form of improvement or something that you want to concentrate?
I don't know really. I know some games, especially like every week there was a little mistake in some games. The first weeks I made maybe like one turn I wasn't happy, and that probably cost me games. So yeah, probably take more time to think my turns if I'm not sure.
Yeah, not rush through things.
Yeah.
TJ, any questions here for Nalguidan?
No, man. I enjoyed watching you turn around the season. I know you said 1-5, which means you ended the season 5-3, which turned out to be a really nice comeback, positive in the second half of the season. So it was a pleasure to watch you, and good luck carrying that momentum into season 2.
Thank you.
All right, so there you go. Nalguidan wraps up the season with a tied score with Saiyan. And that's that. Saiyan, of course, going back to drawing board, but we knew for a while that neither of these players were eligible for playoffs, but fighting for pride and that extra money.